You a famous entertainer?
Yeah, I'm a famous entertainer. City, state to state, I'm everywhere.
I know that's right.
You know?
With your bling on and everything. Who finds the people? How does that start?
Well, the way we did it was we put an ad out online.
An ad online?
Yes,
What would an ad like this say?
You generally shouldn't stroll into paternity court dripping in diamonds while calling the mother a groupie, but Mr. Glover Jr. came ready for a show. Ms. Williams says he's denying her 10-month-old son, Ralph Glover III, and playing mind games to dodge responsibility. Judge Lake lays out the stakes quick, and the room tightens. Drama overload already, folks. Let's roll into it.
Ms. Williams, you say you are furious that Mr. Glover is denying paternity of your 10-month-old son, Ralph. You claim Mr. Glover is an irresponsible man-child who would rather play mind games.
Ms. Williams wastes no time. When he wants to run the streets, he starts a fight and says, "That's not my baby." You can feel her frustration. Judge Lake tries to slow the traffic, but Mr. Glover revs up, swagger on 10. He calls her a liar and a clout chaser. I mean, just look at their faces. Pure gasoline and matches.
He plays a lot of mind games, and when he wants to go out and do
Hold
things,
on, one at a time.
when he wants to go out and be with other women and lie and cheat, then he starts to argue and say, well, hey, that's not my baby anyway, I don't have to sit around.
Here comes the bling talk. Mr. Glover declares he's a famous entertainer, city to city, state to state. Okay, superstar. Then why are we here? Ms. Williams fires back that he plays too many games, while Judge Lake presses for the nature of this relationship. The energy is spicy, and it's only getting hotter.
You knew you was for sure when you made him December 22nd.
I made
it was
him-
a planned thing.
All right.
You taught us so many.
Hold on. So I still haven't gotten to the nature of this relationship.
Now the scandal. Ms. Williams admits she never fully broke things off with a sugar daddy who was taking care of her. Mr. Glover pounces. That proves it ain't my baby. Judge Lake zeroes in. Did she end it? No. Whew, talk about messy. You could cut this tension with a knife. Everyone's side-eyeing everyone.
A day apart, right? So when my ex and my daddy died a day apart, I came to comfort her. I'm hearing so much stuff about her going on in the neighborhood. She was talking to this dude, that dude. I'm like, look, when I did find out she was pregnant.
Mr. Glover shifts gears. His father and his ex passed away a day apart, and he says he returned to comfort his ex. Meanwhile, he's hearing things about Ms. Williams around the neighborhood, fueling his doubts. Ms. Williams says she went back on the market because he lied about school and was making it work with the ex. Things got rocky quickly.
That's a naked butt down.
But she
Yeah, that's a
understand-
naked butt down.
She
You
knew the type of person-
absolutely
She
correct,
knew the type of
Mark.
person I was when she first met me, Your Honor. She knew I really wasn't no one-woman man.
You
She knew
was a-
that when she first met me.
You weren't a one-woman's man when I met you.
Then the infamous butt dial. Ms. Williams says his phone accidentally called her, moans and groans in the background. His excuse? The radio. Sir, be for real. Judge Lake calls it a naked butt dial, and the gallery eats it up. Ms. Williams insists he came home and said, let's make it work, and they conceived without protection. Drama at its finest, folks.
Back on the market doing what you want to do.
No, that's not correct. I wasn't having sex. I just got full time with my sugar daddy.
No dude don't give you no $3,900 just to be.
Money talk. Ms. Williams says the sugar daddy gave her $3,900. Mr. Glover snaps, no dude gives you $3,900 just to talk. Judge Lake is over the circus act and tries to refocus. Then, you got back together. How did you tell him you were pregnant? Ms. Williams says he knew first and was excited. Hope it's a boy. The whiplash is unreal.
You got back together and you found out you were pregnant.
Correct.
When you found out you were pregnant, you told him, you said, hey, Ralph, I'm pregnant. How did you tell him? Take me to that day.
I told him, no, he knew before me. He said, you know you're pregnant.
They even moved out of town to try a fresh start, she says. But Ms. Williams claims Mr. Glover got insecure. If she didn't answer, she was cheating. He doubles down that during their breaks, she was with other men. The back and forth is non-stop. I mean, just look at his smirk. He's convinced she's trapping him.
But when we got back together, she left. And when she left and she came back, she started, she just was always defensive about everything. She always had an attitude about everything.
Mr. Glover goes full narrative. She always wanted me, chased me city to city. Ms. Williams snaps that he's hiding behind the rap dream. Judge Lake cuts through. Were you sleeping with another man? Ms. Williams says no. Mr. Glover says he brought a witness. Oh, here we go. Cue the drum roll.
That's why we here today, to prove you wrong, that I'm not trapping you.
Yeah,
Now,
we
you
gotta
knew
prove
from the
that
beginning,
today, then.
Ralph. When
We
you
gotta
first
prove
met
that
me
today.
now, I was a good hustler,
Oh,
getting
my.
my own good money. money.
Enter Miss Rachel Nolan, Mr. Glover's sister. Jerome escorts her in. Ms. Nolan says when Ms. Williams and her brother argued in late December 2016, Ms. Williams asked her to pick up clothes from a hotel. Ms. Nolan brought an exhibit. You can practically hear the gallery leaning forward.
When it comes to a sugar daddy, a daddy ain't gonna be there unless you giving him some sugar.
That's
That's
incorrect.
Oh,
How you gonna say that?
so
when
do
got
you
that?
know if she was giving him some sugar?
Ms. Nolan describes arriving at the hotel. Ms. Williams comes out looking distressed, grabs clothes, rushes back. Ms. Nolan says she then saw a vehicle belonging to the man in question, the alleged sugar daddy. I mean, just look at Ms. Williams' face. She did not expect this level of receipts.
She said, well, I'm coming down. So when she came out the front door, which is under this foyer, this is my vehicle. I then pulled under the foyer. Jaleesa got into the vehicle.
Ms. Williams counters fast. The man only paid for the room because she left in a hurry and forgot her debit card. She says he never came up and there was no intimacy. Ms. Nolan claps back that a room can be paid for over the phone. Judge Lake zeroes in on proximity to conception. Mr. Glover chimes in crudely about the very next day. Awkward is an understatement.
It wasn't inside of my purse.
So it's your testimony that this sugar daddy was only there to help you get this room, but he never came up to the room and you were not intimate with him.
Correct.
So how close in proximity?
The bickering hits a boil. Ms. Williams says Mr. Glover threw the baby shower, so why act doubtful? Then she admits telling him in February it wasn't his baby because he kept threatening to leave saying it wasn't his child. Judge Lake asks if he signed the birth certificate. He did, but says he felt something was off. The tension is suffocating.
My point exactly. I look at you like a sister, and I'm not finna step in y'all business and tell my brother something if I hadn't got correct fact you. I'm not
Well,
gonna
you
tell
shouldn't
him
have
nothing
never
off of
claimed him
assumption.
if
Keep
you
it
was
real.
in doubt.
You told me that I wasn't the father.
Judge Lake asks the million-dollar question. What if Ralph Glover III isn't your biological son? Mr. Glover says he's throwing in the tools, clearly hurt and defensive. Ms. Williams insists she wasn't intimate with the sugar daddy. You can feel the room holding its breath. Everyone wants the envelope now.
It's
But
always
when it's
stuck in the
not,
back of my mind. When she
it's not
told me
in
the baby was my baby, it's automatically stuck in the back of my
She
mind.
told you the baby wasn't yours?
Yeah, she told me the
When
baby
was
wasn't
that?
mine. That's around the same time we was getting into it and all the stuff like that. Yeah,
I told him
around
that in
time.
February that it wasn't.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake reads, when it comes to 10-month-old Ralph Glover III, Mr. Glover, you are...
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Glover, you are the father.
So where's my apology? Clap on, clap on.
Imagine walking into paternity court with a 20-year mystery and a backyard threesome at the center of it. Ms. Edwards is here to prove Mr. Morris fathered her daughter Breanne. He says another man is the dad. Judge Lake sets the stage. Jerome announces Edwards vs. Morris. Breanne's joining remotely. Caitlin's in court for mom. Stakes are sky high, and yes, this small-town saga starts spicy. All right, let's roll the first clip. Things heat up fast.
Ms. Edwards, you're here to solve a 20-year mystery and prove that the defendant fathered your daughter, Breanne, who is joining us from her hometown. You say you are tired of his denial and hope to prove your case today.
Whew, Mr. Morris just admitted the backyard threesome in the field behind the house with his friend's wife. Judge Lake repeats it 3 times like she's trying to process the Wi-Fi password. And then he drops the line of the day. If you wore panties and dropped them, I got me some. I mean, just look at Judge Lake's face. Pure disbelief, drama overload. You can practically hear the court audience clutching their pearls.
Threesome in my backyard,
A threesome in the backyard?
in the field behind my house, yes.
A threesome in the backyard? With your friend's wife?
Yes, ma'am.
A threesome in the backyard with your friend's wife.
Now we're in the what happened after zone. Mr. Morris says he moved to another county. Later, Ms. Edwards and her husband came by to say she was pregnant. And yes, they were still swinging by on weekends. A small town indeed. The casual tone is wild. He's like, they came over. And Judge Lake is like, for more threesomes? The silence says everything. Talk about messy.
So, Mr. Morris, did you ever find out Miss Edwards was pregnant because you say you moved on?
Yes, ma'am. Sometime later I did.
Here comes the gut punch. Ms. Edwards says the moment Breanne was born, she saw that forehead and the cleft and thought, uh-oh, that's Morris. On the operating table, instant dread. She told her husband the next day the child might not be his, but he claimed the baby was still his. Can anyone else feel the tension spiking? That's not just drama. That's a marriage taking a direct hit.
I knew she was veins then because she had his forehead. No. And she was born with a cleft.
No.
When you birthed the baby, you say they brought her from around the curtain after they got her.
Mr. Morris remembers first being told the child could be his when Breanne was about a year old. He didn't buy it. None of his kids were born with a cleft, he says. But genetics doesn't follow personal anecdotes, sir. Ms. Edwards, meanwhile, looks like she's reliving 2 decades of second guessing. I mean, just look at that reaction. Equal parts frustration and I told you so.
Oh, so they come and tell you she's pregnant, but they don't ever let on to the fact that it could be yours.
No, not then.
So how did Miss Edwards tell you specifically that she thought you were?
Now, Ms. Edwards brings up the rare blood claim. Morris allegedly told her mothers of his children needed shots during pregnancy or the baby could have birth defects. So, when Breanne arrived with a cleft, she connected the dots. Judge Lake leans in like, did you actually say this? Morris acknowledges shots happened but shrugs at the why. The courtroom energy piping hot.
Did you tell Miss Edwards, Mr. Morris, that the other mothers of your children had to have shots because of your rare blood?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
To avoid the baby having birth defects?
Judge digs deeper. Were these shots to prevent defects due to your blood type? Mr. Morris knows shots were given, except for his little boy, but not the specifics. Ms. Edwards doubles down. This is exactly why she thinks he's Breanne's father. You could cut this tension with a knife. Evidence or coincidence? That's the million-dollar question hanging in the air.
Breanne, growing up, did you know that your mother doubted your paternity? Did you know that Mr. Morris could potentially be your biological father?
Breanne joins from her hometown. She says she grew up knowing there was doubt. Imagine carrying that since childhood. Just look at her composure. Calm voice, heavy eyes, heartbreaking stuff. She wants answers about her identity, her history, and maybe a chance at a relationship with her real dad. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Caitlin, I want to ask you, did you grow up with the understanding that your sister Breanne had a different biological father?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And you always knew it was Mr. Morris as well?
Caitlin speaks up. She always knew Breanne might have a different father. Then a woman aligned with Mr. Morris, she brings photos, steps in to show side-by-sides of his daughters versus Breanne, arguing the resemblance isn't there. The gallery leans forward. This is reality TV science class, the Eyeball Genetics 101 segment. Drama at its finest, folks.
All of our children have some kind of resemblance to my husband. My husband has 7 children. Every one of them have some kind of feature of his, whether it be eyes.
Enter Dr. Frida Fisher. Judge Lake calls her in to clear the fog on this rare blood and shots storyline. The doctor starts with the RH factor basics. When an RH negative mother carries an RH positive baby, she needs RH immune globulin to prevent antibodies from attacking future pregnancies. Translation: the shots are real, but not in the way it's been implied. Everyone's listening now.
Hello, Dr. Fisher. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
We have had a very interesting time today discussing some complex testimony given by Mr. Morris. Ms. Edwards also testified.
Dr. Fisher continues, if the father is RH positive and the mother is RH negative, yes, those shots matter. But that's about preventing maternal antibodies, not guaranteeing or preventing clefts. This isn't a smoking gun for paternity. You can see Ms. Edwards processing this and Mr. Morris nodding like he just found the instruction manual to this 20-year mystery.
An RH positive father with an RH negative mother can have a child who is RH positive. And if the mother does not receive the shot, the RH immune globulin.
Judge Lake asks if anyone's position has changed. Ms. Edwards still believes Morris is the father. Mr. Morris still doubts it. Then Judge turns to Breanne. What do you hope for today? Breanne wants the truth, a family history, and maybe a real bond. The room gets quiet. Cue the drum roll. We're finally headed to the envelopes.
You do not think you're Breanne's biological father?
No, ma'am, I don't.
And what are your hopes? I mean, if you are you hoping that you are, but you don't think you are? What are your hopes today?
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake reads, in the case of Edwards versus Morris, when it comes to 20-year-old Breanne, it has been determined Mr. Morris.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Morris.
Yes, ma'am.
You are the father.
Breanne says it feels good, finally having the answers she's always needed. She wants a relationship. Ms. Edwards admits she did all of this for her daughter, period. Mr. Morris promises to do his best and make up for lost time. That release you feel? That's 2 decades of uncertainty lifting off one family's shoulders, heartbreaking stuff, and a hopeful turn at last.
What are you feeling in this moment, Mom?
It was her is the reason I'm here. Only her. I didn't do it for me, I didn't do it for her, I didn't do it for them.
You generally shouldn't open a case with we're swingers, but here we are. Mr. Al says he followed the rules. Ms. Jones broke them, then tried to pin her baby on him. Ms. Jones admits she cheated, but swears her new partner, Mr. Dell, is the real dad. Judge Lauren's eyebrows are already working overtime. Stakes? Huge. Emotions? Loaded. And we're just getting started. Roll the first clip.
Mr. Adel, you are here today to prove Ms. Jones committed paternity fraud. You claim Ms. Jones duped you into signing her daughter's birth certificate.
Mr. Al lays out the rulebook. Nobody goes outside the relationship unless both are present, and protection is non-negotiable. He says Ms. Jones broke those terms and now wants him on the hook. Ms. Jones fires back. She did use a condom, and tosses in that he cheated too, which she answered out of spite. I mean, talk about messy. You can feel the tension thickening.
The rules are you don't go outside of the relationship and have sexual relations with anyone outside of the relationship unless...
Then comes the catalyst. Ms. Jones says she saw a picture of Mr. Al in her bed with someone else. Oof, cue the spiral. The judge tracks it back. How did they even meet? Drinks, a hookup, and suddenly a relationship with a rules of engagement section. I'm already bracing for impact because this is feeling less date night, more danger zone.
A picture of Mr. Adel in the bed with somebody else, your bed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's why you cheated, because you saw that picture, so then you went out and did it.
Absolutely.
Now we know 2 wrongs never make a right, it just makes drama.
Mr. Al confesses he'd done this lifestyle before, and after making it official, he convinced Ms. Jones to try it. Judge Lauren asks about their first threesome, and you can see her trying not to picture it while also needing the facts. Ms. Jones looks uneasy describing the setup. Folks, awkward doesn't even begin to cover it.
Why would you want to sleep with somebody else other than your loved one?
Because
That's what I'm thinking.
It's exciting.
But I gave it a chance because I loved them.
So the first time you all have this threesome,
How did they find people? Ads online. Yep, couple looking to spice things up. They compromised on a man because she didn't want Al with other women. He shrugs. Sex is sex. It's all exciting. Ms. Jones admits she hoped he'd stop before it got real. Spoiler, he didn't. The discomfort in her voice says plenty.
Because she wouldn't let me have sex with a woman. So I had to compromise, you know, and it's not a big deal to me. It's all the same. Sex is sex, and it's all exciting, you know? So, I mean, it was...
Vetting applicants becomes a thing. Mr. Al claims he can tell from texts if a guy is intelligent or a bird brain. Sir, is this a pop quiz or a bedroom? Judge Lauren probes the logistics. Who's invited, how it starts, where the boundaries are. Ms. Jones plays along, but you can tell this is not her idea of fun.
My thought process was to introduce something that she may be interested in. You know, something, you know, she didn't want me to have sex with another woman because of jealousy issues or whatever the case may be.
The night happens. They invite the gentleman over, loosen up with drinks, and Mr. Al tries to soothe her, foot rub and all. Judge Lauren deadpans, do they just ring the doorbell like, hi, I am the swinger? I'm screaming. The details keep coming and the judge finally waves the TMI flag.
The night that happened, you know, we invited the gentleman over. We had some drinks to loosen up, you know, more for her case because she hadn't had.
It turns into a play-by-play, old school R&B and everything, until Judge Lauren cuts in, bottom line, it happened. We don't need the director's cut. What we do need is accountability, because lines were crossed, jealousy brewed, and the fallout is sitting in that stroller. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here?
We went from there. She went on me, you know, or listening to some old school R&B.
okay, I feel like the testimony now is very specific.
So why did Ms. Jones break the rules later without Mr. Al present? She says she felt neglected. He was out with friends, and she made a bad choice. She insists they used a condom and admits she told him, the baby might not be yours, just to get under his skin. Phew. That's gasoline on an already blazing fire.
What happened with this other man? Why decide to have sex with this other man without Mr. Adel? Why break the rules of engagement? Why?
I felt neglected.
Mr. Dell explains he found out about the cheating during an argument, after the baby was born. Imagine holding it down through the pregnancy, then hearing this when the child is a month old. You could cut this tension with a knife. His face says shock, hurt, and just plain exhaustion.
That she cheated. I was gone for a night. She had confessed to me the next day. And this happened just about last month, so it was all the way through the pregnancy.
Calendar time. Judge Lauren asks for specifics. Ms. Jones says she slept with the other man in mid-August, with Mr. Al at the end of August and into September. So much so the judge jokes that August is the sex month. Everyone's doing math, and it's not the fun kind.
If I'm not the father, the real father needs to be in building a relationship.
You are
with
the
that
real
child.
So,
father.
Ms. Jones, what month did you have sex with the other guy?
The judge locks it in. Based on the baby's birth date, conception points squarely to August. Ms. Jones repeats she used protection with the other man. Then we swerve into an eye color debate. Blue eyes, brown eyes, classic courtroom genetics. I mean, just look at those reactions. But we all know resemblance isn't proof.
Oh, but if you look at when Jessela was born and her birth date is May 12th,
Yes.
you count back, the month of conception would be in August.
And right on cue, family photos come out and someone says she looks just like him. Judge Lauren shuts it down. Physical resemblance alone won't cut it. Stakes are sky high because this little girl needs certainty, love, and stability. Mr. Dell vows if he's the father, he'll step up and start a life.
My whole family don't
She's precious.
even think I was involved in making her.
You can say all day, oh, it looks like he spit her out.
Before the results, Mr. Al gets vulnerable, says he loves Ms. Jones and wants to move forward the right way, but he needs the truth. Judge Lauren nods, calls for the envelope, and my heart's doing the drum roll. Everyone leans in. You could hear a pin drop. Cue the suspense music in your head.
I loved her since the day I met her, and I'd like to move on with her. I'd like to still be in a relationship with her.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lauren reads, Mr. Al,
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Adel, you are the father.
I told you.
2 weeks into a brand new romance and boom, pregnancy. Mr. Milner tells Judge Lake he was deceived into believing he fathered baby Zachariah Milner, Jr. He admits he loves this child and fears he's been loving another man's son, which is why he's asking for a court-ordered DNA test. Ms. Heath pushes back. Yes, there was another man before, but Mr. Milner signed the birth certificate. Stakes set, tension high.
Defendant Ms. Heath deceived you into believing that you fathered her 3-month-old son, Zachariah Milner, Jr.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
say you love her son and would be devastated to find out.
Right away, Mr. Milner says when he told Ms. Heath he wanted a family, her eyes lit up like she'd just spotted a winning lottery ticket. His words, Bing, I got me a duck. Sir, not the self-roast. He swears she saw a family man and decided to pluck him for everything. I mean, just look at his face. Equal parts hurt and petty. Drama overload already.
And that is, I want a family. I want to be a family man. I'm done reading the streets. I'm really tired of that. And I feel like at the time, as soon as I said that, the light came up above her head. Like,
Ms. Heath counters with a softer story. They met, vibed, and within days considered themselves exclusive. She says she felt he wanted something real, and she did too. Then those early pregnancy signs hit fast. Judge Lake side-eyes the timeline like a math teacher checking work. Things got rocky quickly, and this story is moving at 2 times speed. You could cut the awkward optimism with a knife.
You exchange numbers.
yes, ma'am.
And I get to talking to him, I get to feeling him out a little more. And I felt like he was intelligent, like he wanted something out of life. As I had seen something in him that I thought, that we could make something out of this.
Now the awkward part. Ms. Heath admits the condom broke. Not once, but twice. The way Judge Lake raises that eyebrow, whew. Mr. Milner immediately apologizes, clearly not proud of this testimony. The court audience is giving silent side-eye like, twice? You can practically hear the courtroom whisper, that's a lot. Talk about messy. Drama at its finest, folks.
About, what if you are, what if you're not? And I'm just like, I don't want to be. I got 3 kids, I don't need another one. This was not a part of the plan.
Mr. Milner, I want to hear from you. When you found out,
Then comes the gut punch. Mr. Milner recalls a quiet night on the couch when Ms. Heath burst into tears and blurted out, I don't know if the baby is yours. Instant freefall. Ms. Heath says, hold up. That's not how she meant it. Her doctor had adjusted her conception dates and she was trying to be honest. Either way, you could cut this tension with a knife.
After everything done happened, we got us an apartment. She sitting there, we watching TV, her head is in my lap. Me and her is talking real well. Next thing I know, she just bust out the tears.
Mr. Milner starts doing calendar math at work, counting months on his fingers and getting 8, not 9. Doubt burrows in. Yet when asked why he signed the birth certificate, he admits he wanted a family, and deep down, he wanted a son. That vulnerability is written all over him. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here? He wants to believe, but doubt is doing push-ups in the corner.
The gentleman that he always even claims has nothing to do with the matter. Like, it's always something about me, but I'm always catching stuff on him.
Receipts time. Judge Lake pulls up the dates. Baby Zachariah was born April 18th. Ms. Heath had sex with Mr. Milner on August 2nd. With the other man, the week of July 23rd to 26th. You can feel everyone doing mental math. Calendars, clocks, and calculators are basically co-counsel at this point. Everyone leans in like it's the SAT of relationships.
It could be mine. I don't know. I'm just, at the time, I love her. And I want that family. And when I see him, I want a son.
Ms. Heath clarifies, the other man was specifically on July 23rd, and her conception date was estimated as July 31st, uncomfortably close to August 2nd with Mr. Milner. Mr. Milner claims she said a condom broke with the other man. She flatly denies it. I mean, just look at those reactions. Awkward city. Tension rises like a kettle about to whistle.
But you know you were intimate with him on the 23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me quickly pull up my conception calculator. If you put in Zacario's birthday of April 18th.
Jerome, start walking, because Judge Lake calls for Lamont's Maba to enter. He's the court representative who reviewed Ms. Heath's prior statements, and his records may not match what she's saying today. The room tightens instantly. This is the moment where he said, she said, turns into paper trails and signatures. Receipts don't lie, even when memories do. You could hear a pin drop.
What's that?
Jerome, can you please escort Lamont's Mebane into the court?
Yes.
For the court record, Lamont's Mebane works for this court.
On the stand, Maba reads it back. Ms. Heath previously reported they sometimes used condoms and sometimes did not. Oof. That's a big contradiction. Ms. Heath insists she always used them due to a personal situation. Judge Lake's face says, this matters. Can anyone else feel the air thicken? The clash between past statements and present claims is setting off alarm bells.
She said sometimes and sometimes not.
Correct. She said sometimes we did and sometimes we did not. Exactly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The plot thickens again. The other man is married. Judge Lake asks whether Ms. Heath avoided the possibility he's the father because of that. Ms. Heath admits both. He was married and there was too much drama. Then the hard truth. She can't say with 100% certainty Mr. Milner is the father. Everyone in the gallery shifts like they're bracing for impact.
Married man could have been Zacario's biological father. Is it that you didn't want him to be?
Both.
Because he was married?
It was both, Your Honor, because that man, he had too much going on.
So can you tell me with 100% certainty?
That's it. Judge Lake calls time. Both parties will test. Mr. Milner, Ms. Heath, and baby Zachariah. Court adjourns until the results are in. No shouting, no theatrics, just a decisive call. You can tell this courtroom runs on clarity. You can see both of them silently pleading for a clear answer. It's the eye of the storm before the verdict.
Have testified today that you have doubts surrounding the paternity of beautiful Zachary Milner Jr.
We're back. Pre-results. Mr. Milner says even if he's the biological father, he can't make the relationship work. The page has turned for him, and honestly, his voice says he's exhausted. Meanwhile, Ms. Heath looks anxious, bracing for impact. This is the longest minute of their lives. Talk about messy. Can someone pass the tissues?
And we are back here for the results. Before I go to the results, is there anything either of you would like to say?
I can't wait. That's all I know. I can't wait to get my results. And
Cue the drum roll. Envelope in hand, Judge Lake reads, in the case of Milner Sr. versus Heath, Mr. Milner.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Milner, you are the father.
Immediate aftermath hits hard. Mr. Milner says it feels good. Great, actually. Ms. Heath admits she just wanted the truth so they could parent peacefully. No victory laps here, just a quiet release as they talk about doing right by baby Zachariah. Sometimes closure is the loudest silence. You can almost hear the gallery unclench with them.
You gotta get it together.
yes,
And you gotta keep it together.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's not gonna be easy.
We strong. We gonna make it.
Good.
You know, ain't nothing but a little hump in the road.
That's great to hear. Hey, look!
You don't recover easily from 5 little words, "You are not the father." That's the bomb Ms. Points dropped on Mr. Rowan, and now everyone's stuck sweeping up the mess. Judge Lauren Lake lays out the stakes fast. A decades-long doubt, a fractured bond with daughter Cheryl, and one envelope that can fix, or finish, this family. Can anyone else feel the tension rising already? Drama overload.
Ms. Points, you say you made the biggest mistake of your life by saying 5 words. You are not the father to the defendant. You claim they were said only out of anger and not based in truth.
Ms. Points owns it. She said it out of anger and regretted it for years. Judge Lake hits her with the classic, "Once you ring that bell, you cannot unring it." And woo, you can see Ms. Points shrink a little. The guilt is written all over her face. Talk about messy.
You were Sherelle's father, but your doubt was substantiated by the plaintiff's words. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sherelle Points, you claim your life has suffered significantly due to the lies your mother told you growing up.
Enter Mr. Rowan with the doubt that's haunted him since day one. He says he was there at birth, loved the baby, but got suspicious because all his other kids were born with hair slick as glass, and Cheryl had curly hair. I mean, we're really using a hair chart as a DNA test? Look at Judge Lake's eyebrows. They're saying, "Sir, science."
Biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And why are you convinced?
Well, not only was it the fact of what she said, I wasn't a father, it's just I was there from day one since she was born, and they handed her to me, and right then I looked, cause I got like...
Flashback time. High school sweethearts sneaking around after class, a whole routine of knock, key, and we do our little thing, as Rowan puts it. Cute story, but it only makes what came next sting more. The baby's born. Rowan says he named her Cheryl at the hospital, claiming his spot as dad in that moment.
Marcellus knock on the door, and I look out the window and she, I'm like, all right.
Oh, was that a cat sound and then you let the door in?
Throw the key down and she come on up and...
Then comes the record scratch. Rowan says he doesn't do birth certificates because child support makes him feel like he's incriminating himself. The courtroom collectively gasps. I mean, did he just say that out loud? Judge Lake keeps it cool, but surgical. Ms. Points insists he did sign. Jerome, cue the paperwork hunt.
No, it's not my child.
No, I didn't say that.
During the pregnancy or at the birth?
It was after the birth.
That's incorrect. I was at the hospital when she was born. I named her Sherelle Sade.
So, at the hospital?
Judge sends Jerome to find the birth certificate, and we all lean in. Meanwhile, Rowan says he never denied Cheryl, but 2 years in, Ms. Points told him someone else might be the father. You could cut this tension with a knife. And yes, he mentions taxes. Judge Lake's eyes roll in Dolby Surround.
See if they can research that and find it for me.
You got it.
Thank you. So, you say he signed the birth certificate?
Judge pivots to the real wound. Why say the 5 words at all? Ms. Points admits she wanted to hurt him where it counts. Oof. Then Lake brings Cheryl forward. Has she heard this back and forth? Cheryl's voice is small but steady as she starts to tell her story. Heartbreaking stuff.
You did it out of anger.
Yes, I did.
You told him you were not the father. Why?
I'm just frustrated about a whole lot of things that was going on with him.
Cheryl recounts the childhood pain, being 5 years old and hearing arguments about whether Mr. Rowan was her dad, over hair texture no less. "My hair was nappy," she quotes, and your heart breaks a little. Imagine being a kid and absorbing that. I mean, just look at her face.
Never understanding how you would hurt your daughter.
You're right, I never was understanding that. But I know right today, I know it's hurting her. So I made mistakes then.
It gets worse. As a teen, Cheryl says mom would blurt, "You look like that other guy," whenever she was mad. So yes, there was another man. Ms. Points admits it, and the air goes electric. Things got rocky quickly.
It's a possibility that Marcellus was my daddy.
Just a possibility that he was your dad.
Yes,
and so this was all about your hair.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we didn't understand that as black people, we have all different types of hair, and that's just the way it is.
Judge presses for clarity. Was she intimate with the other man around the time she was with Rowan? Ms. Points says yes, though more intimate with Rowan. Judge Lake reminds her, gently but firmly, it only takes once. The crowd hums, because yep, that's the truth.
Nothing else when I asked her.
So she just blurted it out. How?
Yes.
You look like that other guy.
Or when she get mad at me, she'll tell me I look like that other guy.
Did mom tell the other man he might be the father? She says she did, but he wasn't allowed at the hospital because Rowan was there. Rowan throws up his hands like, she does the most. Sir, that's one way to put it. Drama at its finest, folks.
Did you ever tell this man I'm pregnant and tell him that he could potentially be Sherelle's biological father?
Yeah, I told him to. Yes, I.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Jerome returns like a hero with the birth certificate. Plot twist, Rowan is not on it. Another man's name is Judge Lake's Pearls? Clutched. She turns to Ms. Points. You told Rowan, your daughter, and this court that his name was on it. Why? The silence is loud.
Yeah, ma'am.
You are not on Sherelle's birth certificate.
No, I didn't sign it. I don't do birth certificate.
And then, the truth finally breaks through. Ms. Points admits she's known for 29 years that the other man signed because he believed he was the father. Cheryl looks gutted, but also relieved to be hearing something real. Now we're here, Judge says. Let the truth come out.
Is this the other man that you would get mad and tell your daughter she looked like?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've known all these years, for 29 years, that this other man's name was on her birth certificate?
Cheryl admits she's sad, but she wanted the truth, and now maybe they can start over. Judge Lake sums it up. During the conception window, mom was with both men. Translation, doubt is legitimate, and only DNA ends this debate. Cue the drum roll.
How does it make you feel to hear your mother finally tell the truth?
Out of 29 years, like I'm sad.
I know it makes you sad, honey.
Cause she been lying this whole time.
Don't cry, boo-boo. It's all right.
Judge asks the last question. Any other possible fathers? Ms. Point says no. Envelope time. Everyone is holding their breath. Rowan leans in, Cheryl braces, mom looks like she's praying. You could feel the floor vibrating.
That she was basically having sex with this other man and you at the very same time. So although she truly believes this other.
Here it is, the moment we've waited for. Judge Lake reads, when it comes to 29-year-old Cheryl Points, Mr. Rowan.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Rowan, you are not the father.
No.